BuzzFeed sounds like my plans for Saturday night.
I know you're a feeder. I knew the drunkard part.
I know you're a crippling alcoholic.
That one I remembered.
I forgot that you also consume. Hello, boys. Hello, gals. And hello, non-binary pals. And welcome back to the least friendly episode of our show yet.
No, we're all wearing our friend
you just
bracelets.
can't see it because I'm wearing a sweater.
And I'm just covering my wrist.
And my name is Josh.
My name is Rick.
And my name is Christian.
And we are the
Judgies.
Here we are back, and Valentine's-er than ever.
Yes.
Old Saint Valentine's. My favorite saint.
Really, your favorite saint? Name
Yeah.
one other saint.
Nick.
Got your ass there.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Jesus?
Saint Jesus.
Is he a saint?
I technically, I don't think so. I think he's kind of
How about
top dog on that train.
How about Breezes? Drew Brees.
I knew you were going to say that because he was a saint. Played for the Saints.
Obviously.
Obviously.
People also called him Breezes. Fun on Jesus.
Okay. Is he religious?
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of players are. A lot of NFL players are
Yeah,
religious.
it's annoying, actually.
I mean, it doesn't affect my day-to-day.
You know what? Mine either.
Yeah. It doesn't really matter to me.
Huh.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy, actually.
Yeah. God does hate the Bills, canonically.
Well, yeah.
Because after the Chiefs beat the Bills, Patrick Mahomes said, thank you, God, for taking us to this win.
God
so
ordained
very
this.
clearly, God hates the Bills.
Sure. Yeah,
And
that makes sense,
For
actually.
more reasons than just that one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, clearly you guys just haven't read the Bible. If you get far enough in the later chapters, they really talk about how God really does hate the fucking Bills.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, have you been to Buffalo?
I haven't. I don't think God has either in a long time.
Oh, we have.
Oh, so God has been in there. You are God in this instance.
Correct.
In this scenario.
Yeah.
Speaking of people sending us things, much like the good word of our Lord. This is our last one, folks. Our last main episode, P.O. Box 58, Ottawa, Illinois 61350. Mail time. And then it will be, again, a free show that will be linked through our Patreon. There'll probably also be a YouTube playlist specifically with them in it, where we will do our mail episodes there. Dear Judgies, hi, long-time listener, first-time mailer. I've been listening since somewhere around episode 30.
Ooh.
But haven't had anything cool to send. However, I recently started an online sticker shop. I wanted to send you some stickers.
Huzzah!
These are astrology stickers for each one of your signs and butterflies in your favorite colors, including Aurora, whose favorite color I had to guess. I also included some random extra stickers in a print I made. If you wanted to read the name of my shop site, I don't want to read it, but I will read it. Anna's Artful Adventures.
Oh, this is
.store.
yummy.
Your podcast has gotten me through so much. I look forward to listening every Monday or whenever I have your podcast playing in the background while I'm making new sticker design. Much love from Michigan Heart from Anna. You can say my name's Smiley.
Okay, Hannah crushed it.
Why does this look like Erica?
It does kind of look like me.
Mike-
With the space buns?
Yeah.
You don't think this one looks like me?
I mean, it does because it's giving Leo vibes. And you have a picture of your Instagram with sunflowers in it. So.
Why do you know that? You stalking my Instagram, you little freak?
What? We're friends! What the heck?
What the
That
hell?
was so long
Why
ago.
the hell are you looking at my wife's Instagram?
We're
The butterflies?
friends. I can't stalk it.
She
a
guessed
little
Aurora's
bit.
favorite color, right?
Blue.
You
Purple?
piece of shit. I
Purple.
forgot your favorite color is purple. And then Erica and me, green and yellow.
Yay!
at that.
And then we got
this cool hot lady sticker,
Hot
but it's blue,
ladies.
so maybe it's a cool lady sticker.
a Pisces and a Sag.
Sad gal.
The sag gal is for Aurora.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much.
And then we got a couple randoms. Gay raccoon.
Love.
Can I have the gay raccoon?
Yeah, you for sure can have the gay raccoon. Ooh, cowboy frog. And Snoopy in a dinosaur costume.
Okay, I actually like the cowboy frog a lot too.
The cowboy frog's
I do like the cowboy frog.
It's giving adventure time.
it's giving.
It
I
is
love
also
it, yeah.
giving. Like this would be a character that would show up for one scene and say a crazy thing and then leave. And
Oh,
never
yeah.
be seen again.
For sure, for sure.
And everybody be like, you show up to expos dressed as cowboy frog.
Yeah.
And people are like, who are you? You're like Cowboy Frog from Adventure Time.
I'm Chubbs. And they're like, who's Chubbs? And you're like, Cowboy Frog from Adventure Time. And they go, what? I don't remember that. And then you go, no, here's the scene. And then it's a 3-second long scene. And you're like, I guess I kind of remember that.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about the snow golem.
Ooh, he got a whole episode.
I know, but like when I say that my favorite character is the snow golem, they're like, what?
Yeah. I mean,
He's
it's
only
kind
in one
of.
episode.
I guess if I'm going to say a favorite character from a show, I like to go more niche than that.
What's more niche than a one appearance character?
The fox from the episode that says, put that bag back on.
No, more niche than that. That's very mainstream. If you can describe the scene they're in by saying the line and people know it, that's pretty... That's like
Okay.
saying your favorite band is The Beatles.
The Beetled.
Yeah, everybody knows it.
Okay.
So
Maybe.
Yeah, if I'm picking my favorite Adventure Time character, I'm going with, like, I don't know, Marceline, you know? Real low-key
piece of shit.
vibes.
Right.
No one really knows Marceline.
Nobody
Everybody
picks-
knows Marshall Lee, obviously.
Oh, of
Obviously.
course.
But we
Voiced
don't just
by the
bicker
Donald
and
Taco
banter on this podcast. We also podcast on this podcast, and you know what it does? You know what we do when we do that? When we podcast on this podcast, it's what y'all come here and love. Everybody hates everything else except for this part. That's where we go online and find silly little stories, and it's a special Valentine's Day episode. So, Erica, is there a theme potentially?
There's not.
Oh, you just wanted to know for the...
Yeah, I just
The
wanted to wear
garb.
my sweater.
Yeah. Me too. I'm dressed festively.
I'm dressed festively.
I do love the CIA.
CIA
honestly.
World Tour, baby.
Yeah.
We need another one. They did such a good job that first time.
They're so good at spreading democracy.
This is from Abby. Says, hi, Erica. I'm honored enough to get this. If I'm honored enough to get this right on the pod, feel free to use my name. It's Abby. I'm a huge fan and have listened to all 3 sods. So, sorry, all free sods. So now I'm trying to convince my wife that we have room in the budget to join the Patreon. Anyway, I just found this post on Reddit and it's probably going to piss you off. So it definitely needs to be read on the pod. I have screenshots too. If the link doesn't work, let me know. I'm just going to do the screenshots because I'm lazy. Also, my friends and I use a version of this phrase and it applies so well to y'all, I had to share. Let's get 1 thing gay and 2 things straight. This is the Judgies.
Okay.
Interesting.
1 thing gay,
Yeah.
2 things straight.
2 things straight.
I don't think it needed to be explained.
Oh, okay.
Let's get 1 thing queer here.
Yeah.
I liked that one. I liked that one. We make this joke all the time, with the end changing based on our activity. Anyway, y'all are the best and make my day better. Pisses and kisses, Abby. P.S. You can never be too political when the government is making decisions about your body.
Preach.
We'll see what the government has to say about that.
Oh, no.
I think the government might think you can get too fucking political.
This is from maybe an unheard of subreddit.
Okay.
This piece of shit.
I'm prepared
Okay.
to do what we always do whenever you hear a new subreddit on the show.
Right. r/am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for telling my husband I don't want him going out drinking?
I mean,
Yeah.
it does need a little bit of context.
As a canonical booze head, I kind of get pissed off about this.
Yeah.
I, 38 female, and my husband, 41 male, are pregnant with our 2nd child. I am currently 38 weeks, 4 days pregnant, and just had my membrane swept.
Is there like a golden birthday type beat for when you're the same amount of weeks pregnant as your age?
Interesting.
Because this is like your golden pregnancy date week thing. It's kind of nice.
Golden gastration.
Gastration?
What's it called?
Gestation?
What did I say?
Yeah.
You said castration, but with a G.
Yeah.
When me and my friend go and get our balls chopped off.
Yeah. Me and the boys went and got our balls chopped off this weekend. It was a vibe.
Okay. I just had my membrane swept so I could go into labor any day now. My husband asked me if I wanted to have people over this weekend to watch playoff football. I told him that I didn't want anybody at the house because I had just cleaned and washed everything. I said that I wouldn't mind going to someone else's house, though. He then suggested that we go to a bar. I told him that I didn't want to get a babysitter for our daughter and that a crowded bar when I'm this pregnant doesn't seem like a good time for me. He then said that he thinks he will just go to the bar and meet some friends, and I can stay home if I want. I became pretty annoyed and told him that A, I didn't really think it was fair to me to just expect me to stay home with our daughter, who I love more than anything, but she is still a child and still work, and I'm exhausted at this point. And B, I didn't want him drinking as I could go into labor at any moment and would like for him to be able to drive me to the hospital and overall be coherent and sharp. For reference, the only thing he wanted for Christmas was a night away in a hotel. Last weekend, I bought him a night away for him to relax. He came home the next morning and told me he did some gambling and drank some and that he didn't sleep very well, so he slept all day long. The whole point of the hotel stay was to relax, so I was pretty annoyed as I was the one doing everything around the house and taking care of our daughter the whole weekend. He then got mad at me when I got upset about him even suggesting going out with his friends this weekend. He said I should have handled it better, which maybe I should have, but I'm frustrated that it even needs to be a conversation and that I feel like the bad guy by telling him that I don't want him to go. So am I the asshole for telling him that I don't want him going out and that it's ridiculous he would think that this was appropriate this late in my pregnancy?
Classic dude maneuver here. Classic dude maneuver.
That's why they call it a man-euver.
Man-euver. I guess I'd never
Wow.
sounded it out before.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But yeah, no, this is such a typical dude thing to be like, I don't get the big deal. I'm just getting a couple brews with the boys.
I would say the bigger issue here, at least in the way that she told us here, is that he didn't ask. He just said, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And literally this could have been an entirely healthy conversation if he said, do you mind if I just go without you? And
Yeah.
then she's able to say, well, I would prefer if you didn't because X, Y, Z. And then he'd go, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or I won't drink. You know, like instead of him just being like, I'm just going to go to the bar and you can go if you want. Like that is so unhealthy and unthoughtful. It's one thing to have a slip of the mind, but she's only been pregnant for 38 weeks and it's only her second pregnancy. So there's no way you would know like expectations or like the idea of, you know, your wife being very pregnant, but you know, you just ask instead of stating.
And I don't even like, not that I disagree with you, I do agree with you, but just the fact that we have to say, ask your partner. You don't need to ask for permission, but it still needs to be a conversation. You still need to say, like, this is what I want to do. What are your thoughts?
Right. I mean, it's not an ask for permission. It's a, what do you think about?
Yeah. I hate that when they're like, oh, your wife said you can't go or you have to ask your wife for permission. It's like,
Yeah.
well, no, we're in a healthy relationship and we communicate. So
Yeah.
Do people hit you with that? I don't get hit with that. So are you getting hit with that?
No, I'm just saying, I know that women do.
Sure.
I like Josh asks me that every single time.
Yeah. The old ball and chain.
Well, I do also give you the option if you need me to be the bad guy in a situation and say, sorry, my wife told me I can't, then I'll take that for you.
Now I'll never know what the truth is.
Why would you
It's
do this to
true.
me, Erica?
Wow.
Why would you do this to me? Oh, no.
Wow.
No, my social. Oh, no. This is going to spread around. Everybody's going to know now. Sorry, guys. The babe said I couldn't go out tonight.
The babe.
As you're putting together a Gundam model.
Sorry, we're really busy tonight.
What was that noise?
What? Sorry, that was just my god-hand clippers. Oh, I meant nail clippers. I had to cut Erica's nails.
She can hear all of this, by the way. Yeah, it is. I mean, I just don't. I mean, it's boiling into like other arguments as well, like bringing in the entire other argument of the like the Christmas or whatever, the present, where it's like, I mean, you bought him the present, he can do however he wants, but it seems like this maybe isn't the only time that you have to take care of the kid without him thinking about it.
Yeah.
And it's just boiling over at this point. It seems like he's not a very supportive partner.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
Very astute of you.
Did you say ass toot?
Very stupid of you.
No. Did you say ass stupid?
Fuck.
You sack of shit.
This next one is from BB. Their
Wait,
name
no
is
money?
BB.
Okay. Hey, thank you. That's the other BB I know is BB No Money.
All
There's
right.
only 2 BBs that I know. Now a third.
Okay, another potential new subreddit.
I'm not even preparing.
Why? Because you know it's from r/am I the asshole?
Yeah.
Just once bitten, twice shy type beat. You know.
Am I the asshole for telling my dad his grief doesn't get to dictate the name my wife and I choose for our children? My dad and I, 28 male, have a complicated relationship.
Wait, they're both 28?
Yeah.
Very
Crazy.
complicated. Extremely complicated.
I was divorced from my mom when I was he was divorced from my mom when I was only a baby, and she died when I was very young, 5. He puts 5 in parentheses, but I feel like you could, instead of just saying very young, you could just be like, she died when I was 5. Like, you don't have to add the extra steps. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very weird syntax.
Yeah.
What is this, a fucking history book?
Anyways, he was already remarried and had another child when my mom passed away. And I think he expected with time that I would forget about my mom entirely and assimilate into his new family like they were the only one. There was also a big effort to ignore my grief and to expect me to move on like nothing happened. The only time this was ever truly mentioned was when I was 13, and he sat me down and asked me to ask his wife if she'd adopt me. He told me she wanted to adopt me, but didn't want me to get angry at her for asking because I still had a photo of my mom in my bedroom, and I talked about her still. During that little talk, he made a point of saying his wife had raised me far longer and had done everything a real mother should. So it was time for me to acknowledge her in that role and position in my life and make it official. When I said no, he threw a tantrum, stomping his foot and pouting before he left the room, and he never mentioned it again. But that strain could be felt. His wife died 3.5 years ago. I was engaged to my wife at the time, and we were planning our wedding. 6 months after her death, Dad asked how I could move forward with the wedding planning. I told him I still wanted to get married. He said he couldn't understand it, and he thought the wedding would be delayed for years.
What?
I told him that would not be happening. He never said anything about it again, but I now know he held it all in. And now it's come to the surface again. My wife is pregnant with our first child, our daughter, and we have agreed to name her after my mom. My wife wanted a nature name, and my mom had a nature name, so it worked perfectly for us.
Branch?
Tree.
No, because there was a character in a TV show that I watched, and his name was Branch.
First name, last name.
First name.
It's a pretty bad first name.
Yeah, it's a...
Yeah.
Hey.
Listen, honestly, it
It's a real
grows on
bad
you.
first name.
It grows on you.
Like a branch
Right.
would.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
And at first I hated his character, and I was like,
Yeah.
your name's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And then by the end, I really liked him. The show was Longmire.
One Tree Hill.
Is Longmire someone's name?
It's the Sheriff Longmire is his last name.
What? Oh, thank God.
First name Long, last name Meyer.
Right.
Oh.
Middle name Sheriff. Sheriff Long, Sheriff Meyer. Nice to meet you.
It was a good show. It was about like small town county sheriff out in Wyoming that dealt with a lot of like reservation
Propaganda.
issues for sure.
Yeah.
But it was a fun show. Anyways,
Hard to view a lot of
And-
media in America with it's not propaganda.
correct. Anyway, his name was Branch.
Branch is crazy.
You know what? That makes sense for like North Dakota or whatever, wherever the fuck you said. this was at.
Wyoming.
Yeah, same thing.
Same thing. Let's be real.
We haven't announced this yet. During a family dinner with my side, one of my siblings asked if we had a name yet. I said, maybe. We weren't saying for sure until she was here. My dad said we all know the baby will be named after his late wife, and there's no point in hiding it.
One of them.
That's great. Yeah. Hey, got him on a technicality here.
I told him he didn't know that at all. He lost his temper, and he told me if I had any respect for our family, that is exactly what I would do. He told me he's grieving. My siblings are grieving, and I should take that into consideration. I told him that has nothing to do with what we name our child. He wanted to talk one-on-one, and I agreed to do so. He told me if I'm hiding the name like that, then I must be naming my daughter after someone else, likely that woman. And
This
how
is
I was
crazy.
inconsiderate to consider such a thing when his wife had raised me and his wife had died in the last 4 years. He told me a good son would take this into consideration and honor the woman his father loved, the woman who had raised him as her very own. I told him his grief does not get to dictate the name my wife and I choose for our child. I told him my grief didn't seem to matter when I was 5, so why was I supposed to put his adult grief first now? I told him there was going to be no more talking about baby names because it was none of his business. He has since accused me of invalidating his grief and being insensitive to it.
How is he? This man clearly hates therapy. How is he weaponizing therapy speak?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Isn't that insane?
Is that the end of the story?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, hey, can I say it?
Say it.
Classic man-euver here.
Classic man-euver.
What is, I mean, clearly the dude is like still, I mean, obviously it's a very traumatic thing to have your partner die.
Yeah.
But like, to make it everybody else's problem is very clearly he's not dealing with it well at all.
To make it everybody's problem. To be like, oh, you're not putting your wedding on hold? It's like, it's one thing if it's like the week before, it's like, oh, this is fucked up. This is crazy. But it's like, she died a year ago. It's like, you're not going to put it on hold?
3.5 years ago.
Yeah, it's crazy work here.
3.5. I mean, that's a whole presidential term.
And then it's like he's so upset that you're like not accepting this woman as your mother, which we don't know how you felt about her, but it's like it sounds like he did not like let you grieve your mother. So it's like you had to like hold this trauma this whole time, it feels like. And he's the whole time he's like, I just don't get it. She was a bad person. That's why I divorced her. That's like,
yeah. Well, and also you can still love and have care for your mom and then also understand that you have a stepmom that stepped up.
And that's, exactly.
And you can have separate love.
And exactly. That's the biggest thing. It's like he couldn't fathom the idea that it's like, she can still be this important person in your life. And you just like, it's just not the same. It's not the same as a mom.
It didn't help that they wanted a nature name and the second wife's name was
concrete.
Gasoline. Yeah. It's just not very nature. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, but it had to be said.
Oh, for sure.
Gasoline doesn't hold a candle to branch.
Not even close.
Not even close. And if it did,
but what about
issues.
Gasolina?
Fuck.
Like the song?
Yeah.
No,
It's a good name for a song.
That song is gas, actually.
That song gives me gas.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it all the shaking you have to do?
It just gets me up and going.
Yeah.
It fuels me.
Fuck yeah, that song is...
Ultimate gastration song.
All right, this next one is from a source we haven't used in a while.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, luckily there's no noise for sources we haven't used in a while.
We're gonna get another woman on this couch, and I'm gonna have her say my signature line from 3 seasons ago. Hey, the deep judgy heads will get it. There's a button that I had specifically for Josh. I can't say it towards my wife because it's very bad.
Are you gonna call me a bitch?
No.
What?
You're gonna have somebody else call me a bitch?
No.
What is it? Just say it.
I'm gonna strike you, but I'm gonna have somebody else say it because I can't say it to my wife because that's fucked up.
That is fucked up. You're correct.
You can say it to me.
But we will get a female guest on the podcast, and they will say it to you.
Yeah,
I can say it to you.
We'll have Aurora.
Aurora's gonna strike you.
Just be aware in the coming days.
Yeah.
Aurora will be striking
Keep your head on a swivel is all I'm saying.
Okay. Anyway, this is some Facebook drama sent to us from wait, hold on, let me see.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Fuckerberg.
You can say my name. Okay. This is from Sarah. I have unhinged Facebook drama for you. Guy I went to college with posted a photo with a photoshopped version of marked safe from insert disaster. I would ask if you know, but you don't know because you're not on Facebook. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
I vaguely remember this.
I'll show you a picture so that you get the idea.
But I don't know that one. Is this too local? Is that why we can't do it? Or are you just saying the
No.
mark safe from is the thing?
The mark safe from is the thing. Like when
I know that people use the mark safe from thing, but the specific one is local to the drama, so we can't share. Is that what's going on?
correct.
Got it now.
I'm
I
not
understand.
gonna use actual
Crazy
names.
2 words.
Yeah.
Crazy 2 words to say be marked safe from in general. I assume the name of a school, maybe.
No, that's a name of a person. I'm gonna get there, Joshua.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Anyways,
Bad name then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bad name.
Horrible name.
We will make fun of you for your name, probably. I'm assuming this is a bad person, so we can make fun of them for their bad name.
you're about to find out.
Nominative determinism.
Okay, so we understand the concept of marked safe.
Yes.
But instead of a disaster like hurricane, whatever, or an earthquake or whatever,
Tortilla, yeah.
he inserted his own name.
Oh.
It's a weird, vague apology. Did some digging, and he messaged a customer at his job a bunch of stuff about how she sucks and about her kitty smelling stank, etc.
Oh.
The people of Facebook in the town he's now living are crucifying him. Plot twist, not really. They're also being weird and homophobic. I have screenshots galore. It's insane. And I said, girl, send it over. Okay. So he put marked safe from his own name.
Yeah.
What do we want to name him?
What's a really bad name? Carter. Carter. What's it? Carter Uvula. That's too hard to say. Carter. How about just Carter Banks? Agent Carter Banks. Love that movie.
That's Cody Banks, but sure.
Not the one I watched.
This is the
This is
evil.
the worst one.
All right. So he says, I apologize for what I said to the customer at my bar. I should not have said that. I also apologize to my friends and family, especially the crew at Main Street Bar and Grill. Please lay off with the death threats. I said something mean, but never threatened anybody or suggested anything violent. I'm sorry. Red heart emoji.
Just like the movie.
I hate you. Marked safe from Agent Cody Banks. What's his name?
Carter Banks.
Jesus, don't
'Kay.
slander Cody like that.
368 people liked his post,
Okay.
That's a good number.
including himself.
I mean,
Okay.
you gotta get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Okay.
No one wants to be the first. Like,
Okay. We
so
got
he's
his
pretty much
post.
saying, "Hey, please stop telling me you're gonna do violence upon me. I only said that she's got a rank." Do people know her messages yet?
I have the messages.
But they don't know him yet. They don't know what he said.
I don't know. I
Right.
don't know.
I understand. Okay.
So he sent this lady some messages and said, Happy New Year's. The owner of the Main Street Bar and Grill and myself laugh at you. You are
Oh.
silly and ugly. I'm glad you had a bad experience, and I hope to never see you here again. Didn't you think it was weird I added you on Facebook, you dummy?
What?
We look forward to never seeing you again. Kissy face emoji. My only time for people like you is telling you to never come here again. We don't want you. You don't belong here.
Nope.
That place is beyond you. Thank you, and I'm sorry you had a bad time. Our goal is to bring people in with money and good vibes, and that is not you. You're just a nasty little bitch, and I heard your pussy smells gross.
Oh my God.
So that's what he said to a customer.
Go off, Carter. Damn.
I'm not a returning customer.
Maybe. I mean, they got a humiliation fetish.
What's the angle? What is the point of this? Why go out of your way to be so hateful?
Because they need to get in the high-paying, good vibes bringing customers. We need to get these shitty customers out of here.
Okay.
You and your stank puss is making people not come in.
So here is a post about the situation from somebody in the town. And they said, him acting like what he did wasn't grounds for threats. You sexually harassed a customer of the place that you earn an income. It's bad enough being a female going somewhere and worrying about other patrons' actions, let alone the staff. From the many posts I've seen about this incident, it's not even his first time doing this, and yet the company backed him up. How about the fact you look stupid as fuck defending your bartender who drinks while working? Tell me you don't know shit about safe alcohol sales, and I hope someone else thinks about that if they file complaints with the BBB, the Better Business Bureau, for those that don't know. Not one job where I bartended or served were we allowed to drink while serving it. It's such a liability.
I mean, I'd be pretty hard pressed to think that a lot of places don't do that, though, right? Am I wrong? Maybe it's just a small town thing.
Yeah, I feel like it's not that unheard of a practice.
The drinking during, unless he's getting sloshed, I think the drinking is not as pertinent to the story.
So on his post, I guess he started deleting comments, but the comments are not great. The guy is very clearly gay and couldn't even get near a coochie, but
Ugh.
fancy looking the way you do and saying the stuff you said. Somebody responded and said he's giving bottom.
Oh my God, you can't just say that as a slur.
Yep. Punk ass, eat a dick. And then somebody else says, don't go deleting comments now, bottom boy.
Ew.
Like, that's not helping anything.
We gave a trigger warning for homophobia, right?
No.
I did say at the beginning.
You said, I know you said something about it.
I did say at the beginning.
Yeah.
They're also being weird and homophobic.
Okay.
This is like, what is wrong with people? This is what I mean when I say we can't be super pro Hammurabi.
Yeah.
Like, this is fucked up. Yeah, the guy like deserves to like lose his position.
But then how
But you can't just
quickly-
go in and start throwing slurs at him. Tell him
Yeah.
what he did wrong and call him like a creep.
Absolutely.
There's no reason to attack him for his sexuality.
Correct.
Or his presumed sexuality.
And his sexuality has nothing to do with what's happened here.
Right. His gender might.
Maybe.
I'll say that. You can call him a stupid fucking chauvinistic man.
Sure. And then somebody else says, I'd rather not sit on Main Street in town name in an overpriced igloo surrounded by wooden fences and filth. And then Carter replied and said, we don't want you here either. Sick face emoji. I
What?
had every intention of turning you away if you did show up. I just don't get good vibes from you. And then somebody else commented and said, absolutely. Plus, we tried Main Street Bar and Grill. Very disappointed. Worst service ever and mediocre food at best. They could have cared less that we were there. 5 adults, 2 teens, and these 3 families will never go back. So then somebody else posts about the situation and says, I'll say it for the soft ass ones that won't. If you can speak so proudly and boldly about how you enjoy killing babies or making jokes about how much you enjoy abortion, then why can't you yourself take a death threat? Apparently this guy's Carter is like pro-life or pro-choice.
Do we think... Okay.
And this guy is just like bringing that in to say you can't take a death threat, but you're fine with that, which is not even on the same realm.
Yeah. If to give the commenter maybe a little bit of grace, maybe the guy does say fucked up abortion jokes.
Maybe,
You know?
but we don't know that.
Yeah.
And then this commenter says, you got to be as strong as the energy you release. People like this need to be found in a ditch somewhere.
Oh my God.
From speaking to a woman like she was nothing to talking about children like they mean nothing. You are why I have zero trust, faith, or understanding of this new culture. Most people run their mouth, then hide behind fake apologies and bullshit scumbags who run with their beliefs and disgusting ways of life. I'm glad I'll never have to meet this R word. Very whack use of life on this one, guys.
So, and this is not to be victim blaming. This is just me pondering. And I'll say with pissy. That way I get half the heat now.
Okay.
Do we think maybe the lady was really rude to him?
Yeah.
It does not mean that it's okay for him to reach out and do that.
That's how I'm starting
But
to
it
feel.
feels like he was maybe hate crimed in some sort. And
Yeah.
he decided to go take to the DMs to fire back, which was not a good or right thing to do.
That's kind of how it's feeling. Is when you get the whole town coming out and then they're all calling you slurs and giving you death threats. It's like
That doesn't sound
Maybe
like a
just-
community I want to live in.
maybe just you talk shit about the wrong lady and now you got the wrong side of town hating on you.
Yeah. But Sarah says that this, after the message of the message that Carter sent, said his slightly unhinged message it was a little bit more than unhinged, but
It's fucked up. It's absolutely not okay.
to a customer who I'm sure was being a Karen, but let's not bring pussies into it. And it's like,
If you literally, one, you should never do this. You should never break the. I know it sucks, but like breaking the customer, like employee boundary in this way is always going to backfire. It's always going to make you look bad. It's always going to potentially lead to you getting fired. But if you're gonna message someone, it should be like, I don't appreciate how you treat me.
Yeah.
Yada yada yada. Like,
learn from your actions.
yes.
Like be a better
good
person.
Do not need to say, hey, I hear your pussy rank. Like,
Yeah.
we don't need to know whether or not her vagina is on a leaderboard. You know what I mean?
Hey. Sorry.
I mean, that
I'm sorry
could
she's on a
be-
leaderboard.
If she's coming at you to like physically fight you, maybe you could say that.
She got ranked pussy is all I'm saying. There's casual pussy. She's got ranked pussy. And we don't need to know that about her.
Sure.
And I'm just making jokes because I'm uncomfortable about the whole story.
Yeah, it's a very uncomfortable story. There is a lot of very fucked up things that were said to this person and about this person.
And both sides. I'll both
Yes,
sides this one.
Absolutely.
Damn.
This
I'm-
isn't everyone sucks here.
I'm sitting on a fence right now. Mm-hmm. And I'm happy about it. I built this fence. It's built to last.
Okay. We love good quality.
Yeah. Chain link.
Really?
It lasts.
It does.
It doesn't look
last.
good.
No. It also feels like it'd be
It's
terrible to sit
giving
on.
cheap.
It might be cost effective, sure.
It's giving poor.
It's the working man's fence.
That's true. That's
Sue
true.
me if I can only afford a 2-foot chain link.
Do you have?
Wait, 2 feet high
Yeah,
or like 2 feet panel?
2 feet high.
Okay. That's
then
a
what's
very
the point of having
short
a-
fence?
Fence.
I couldn't afford taller.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I'm just.
I just don't even think they make.
No, I had to get custom ordered.
Sure. Wouldn't that be more expensive?
It was very
I bought
expensive.
a 4-foot one and I cut it in half.
I ordered it off Temu. It showed a picture of a chain link fence.
It was
And-
in meters and centimeters. I didn't do the calculation quite right.
They should have had it in Josh's.
That's what.
Thank you.
Obviously, no. A proper height fence is 1 Josh.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. And then
Actually, that might be a little bit too tall of a
a
fence.
6-foot fence.
Isn't that? Aren't they supposed to be like 5 feet?
You can get 6 foot, 4
What's
foot.
what's the too high? What's the limit?
6 foot's.
I think 8 is normally the limit on a lot of places.
I guess it depends on your city ordinance.
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
That's why it's important to vote local, folks.
And then
Vote
we've
in your
always
local
said that.
elections.
We've
We've
always
always
said
said
that. Hey, how about this side of the break is over, and then there's the next side of the break coming up.
And it's about to get political,
Dun dun.
even more so than it already was. Okay, bye.
And folks, welcome back on this side of the podcast where we like to do a little thing we call,
Circle George.
What the hell?
It's the Circle George.
and that's where we judge around this circle. That way you guys can get to know us a little bit better in a parasocial fun way. And Erica, a little birdie told me that you have brought your own circle judge to the table.
I have, Joshua. I put in a little smidge of extra effort this week, and it's yeah, yep.
Love
So
that for you.
I've just been really disappointed in the news lately.
Oh, I haven't
And-
been paying attention to what's going on. The world's falling apart?
Correct.
Oh, no.
Oh, I've been burying my head in the sand.
Yeah, I like to do that as well. However, it's unavoidable on every social media platform. You just see more fuckery and stupidity and
At least the planes aren't falling out of the sky yet.
oh, but they are.
Really? 2 of them
Yes.
in the past couple days?
Yep.
Interesting. Same state?
I thought they were in different states.
Same area of the United States?
I think so, yeah.
Wow. A lot of people died unnecessarily?
Yeah.
Very, very big tragedy? Mm-hmm. It's very unfortunate.
And it's
But we need
crazy that our leader
We need to cut.
showed no sympathy for either one.
well, it was just
Got
because they
spendings.
potentially were black or a woman,
Correct.
obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And if they weren't, it's because a black person or a woman was next to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So obviously that's what happened.
So
And if they weren't next to him, they probably hired him. And if
Right.
they didn't hire him, then,
So I was thinking that we could take a little quiz to find out what country we should move to because this one is a dumpster fire.
We're getting out of here.
And let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
And also, so we're going to take this quiz, what just happened? What is this? I don't want that.
Donald Trump just texted all of us and said, get out of here. I'm deporting you. You don't get to choose.
Yeah. So I just Googled and found a quiz that we could take to find the best country for us.
It's on usnews.com.
Yep. I don't know anything about that specific thing, but this was posted on September 10th of 2024. So let's take this quiz.
I gotta tell you, question one's pretty, I don't know, pretty over home plate here.
How important is quality of life to a country's overall success? Our quality of life sub-ranking includes the attributes good job market, affordable, economically stable, family-friendly, income equality, politically stable, safe, well-developed public education system, and well-developed public health system. And to me, that's extremely
Not important. Oh.
So we've got a scale here. You can pick 1 through 5.
Yeah.
1, not important at all.
Yeah.
3, somewhat important. And 5, extremely important.
This is such a broad question. I don't know
Yeah.
how you put anything other than extremely important.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
This encompasses everything about a political structure.
So
Yes.
in your
just wait until the next
country, do you want to enjoy yourself or do you want it to be really bad?
Do you want everything, every single moment to have you filled with anxiety because you don't know how life is going to be the next day?
Question 2.
No. Oh, no.
Question 2 is about entrepreneurship.
Sure.
How important is entrepreneurship to a country's overall success? Our entrepreneurship sub-ranking includes the attributes connected to the rest of the world, an educated population, entrepreneurial, of course, innovative, provides easy access to capital, a skilled labor force, technological expertise, transparent business practices. I don't even know what those are. Well-developed infrastructure, and well-developed digital infrastructure, and well-developed legal framework.
How does that fall under entrepreneurship?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean,
But I'm going to say that's pretty important.
Those all seem pretty important other than whatever, access to capital. If all of the other things were afforded to us, access to capital isn't super important.
yeah. We'll do pretty important.
We don't all have to pick the same answer.
Oh, that's what you picked too? Oh, no, me and Eric are moving to the same spot.
You guys both picked 4.
That's probably for the
Imagine
best.
we had to move to different countries.
It'd suck.
That would be unfortunate. All
I
right.
don't know. I guess I'm gonna put somewhat important, I guess.
Okay. Question number 3, agility. How important is agility to a country's overall success?
Oh, it's the hardest skill to train on old school RuneScape.
Our agility sub-ranking includes the attributes adaptable, dynamic, modern, progressive, and responsive.
I mean, that's pretty important,
I would say that's pretty important too.
Is this going to put us all in Finland or Sweden or something?
Yeah.
And it's going to be like, yeah, just move to where they exploit peoples that aren't the country that you live in.
Okay. Whoa.
That way you don't have to see it.
We exploit over here, live over here.
Yeah.
And number 4, how important is social purpose to a country's overall success? Our social purpose sub-ranking includes the attributes cares about human rights, cares about the environment, gender equality, religious freedom, respects property rights, trustworthy, well-distributed political power, racial equity, cares about animal rights, committed to climate goals, committed to social justice.
It's crazy that they keep slipping in like one right wing. Like it keeps just being like all progressive things. And it's like, but we also need to be able to have monopolies, right? We can't get rid of monopolies.
Wait, where's the monopoly?
Well, this one just says respect for property rights.
oh, yeah.
We gotta have private property though, right? Private property is a big thing here.
I mean, we can be a little bit of a landlord. I put extremely important.
Same. All right, the next one is how important is a country's recent upward mobility to its overall success? Our movers sub-ranking includes the attributes different, distinctive, dynamic, and unique. I don't really care about this one.
I gotta tell you, upward mobility is, to me, I hear that phrase and I go, ooh, corporate jargon.
Yeah.
It's a very negative
Corporate jargon here.
connotation in my brain as well.
So I'm going with a little important.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna put too, because like I'm in my brain, I'm trying to figure out what countries are trying to like
Have upward mobility.
yeah. So they
China.
something would like the country that's coming to mind is China, where it's like it's important that recently you've had success, but also you would want the country to be stable in the long term, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just I think somewhat important.
How important are you on to the next one? Okay. How important is cultural influence to a country's overall success?
Zero.
Our cultural influence sub-ranking includes the attributes culturally significant in terms of entertainment, fashionable, happy, influential culture, strong consumer brands, modern, prestigious, and trendy.
So this isn't asking how important is culture. It's how important is it for your country to be influential to other countries.
Yeah.
I don't care about this at all. America is like the #1 cultural export in the world, in the United States as well. Believe it or not,
Crazy.
That one's hard to believe.
we're like our culture is everywhere.
Us in Japan,
Negatively.
baby.
Yeah.
No, negatively is definitely us.
So I don't. This isn't important to me. I don't care at all.
I put a little important because,
Okay.
like, I want to be happy.
Yeah. Isn't that fucked up? How they just you got to be happy in there as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Like they keep slipping in one thing. It's like, what's that one about?
Number 7, how important is being business friendly to a country's overall success? Our open for business sub-ranking includes the attributes cheap manufacturing costs, favorable tax environment, not bureaucratic, not corrupt, a transparent government practices.
You can't just put not corrupt in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. This is crazy.
This is literally cheap manufacturing is we're going to underpay labor. Favorable tax environment means we're not going to tax wealthy people. Not bureaucratic means there's going to be
No regulations.
No regulations. Not corrupt, which is just a buzzword. And then transparent government practices like, but the government can't fuck with us too much.
Yeah.
To me, this isn't important. It's not that it's not important. I disagree fundamentally with the idea of having cheap manufacturing costs being a good thing for a country.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I put a little important because it is. I agree with what you're saying. It's like all those words are just buzzwords for bad things. Just like, I guess we have to have it a little bit.
We can't be entirely corrupt. We can be a little corrupt.
We need a little bit of government transparency.
Number 8, how important is being a place for adventure to a country's overall success? Our adventure sub-ranking includes the attributes friendly, fun, good for tourism, pleasant climate, scenic, and sexy.
Oh, that one we're going up to a 5 with sexy.
Really?
Oh, that doesn't change your mind entirely?
Well, if you're going to be living there, like, why would you want to live in paradise? You know what I mean? You got to have a couple rainy days to appreciate the sun.
There's still rainy days in paradise.
Huh. Really?
Yeah. It rained for like 3 days straight when we were in Punta Cana, remember?
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah. All the rainbows.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with pretty important.
This isn't very important to me. I'm going to say a little important. Because no matter where I'd lived, I would still think it's important for me to travel to other places to see other places, you know?
Whoa.
Like,
Sure.
I don't really care personally that the country that I'm in is necessarily like the most beautiful country for other people to come to.
Hey, you're going to be real upset when you don't get Sweden now.
Number 9, how important is power to a country's overall success? Our power sub-ranking includes the attributes a leader, economically influential, strong exports, politically influential, strong international alliances, strong military.
Yeah. You ready for my hot take?
Not important at all.
This is extremely important. Every country should have a nuke. I think the only way to make world peace possible is to give every single nation in the entire planet one nuclear warhead. No countries
each
get
get one?
fucked with that have nukes.
We each get one.
Name a country that America has invaded that has nukes. Now name countries that they've invaded that don't have nukes.
Interesting.
So you're hi Gray.
I think everybody should have. I think I'm very pro nuclear armament of every single people's.
That surprises me.
That was very clearly a joke. But
I was a little shocked. I was like, the man that doesn't like guns wants mega gun for everybody.
it's just
gun.
a country will not be invaded if they have military might.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's how it exists.
Yeah.
But I don't think America's success is success in giant, huge air quotes was because we had a bunch of nukes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's great for defense.
Yeah.
You know? Why do you think we wanted the Iran denuclearization?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. I feel like I can't even put like not important because there's strong international alliances, which I do think that's incredibly important.
I'm going to put pretty important.
I'm putting somewhat important.
Somewhat important.
All right.
But like a strong leader, economical influence, that doesn't matter to me. I don't think I need to be in the country that's like making the world fucking move. I don't need to be the biggest cog in this fucking machine we're living in, you know?
All right, the last question. How important is heritage to a country's overall success? Our heritage sub-ranking includes the attributes culturally accessible,
So they speak
rich
English.
history, great food, many cultural attractions, and many geographical attractions. I mean, great food is extremely important to me.
That's the one you picked out.
Yeah.
I think all these are very important, personally. I think these are all extremely important. Even if, this is also goes into, the Parks and Rec sections. Like, just having third places, having places for people to be able to go to and enjoy their community and build strong ties locally and everything. That's super important.
Yeah.
To having a country be, people want to live there.
All right, it gives you 10 countries.
No. Oh, okay.
What's your number one
Let's
country?
do our top three.
Yeah,
you guys
top
start
three
at
is-
3.
3?
Yeah. Well, I'll say our third, then 2, then 1.
All right. My third is France.
Interesting.
Canada.
Japan.
Interesting.
Yeah. I thought we were going to get much closer numbers here.
My top 3 are bad.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. What's your number 2, Erica?
Australia.
Okay.
Australia.
Okay. Mine's Germany.
Okay.
Okay. I actually hear that Germany is a really nice place to live. You don't think so?
Why did I get 2 Axis powers?
We know what.
And I think we all know what number 1 is now.
We all know what that word stands for. It's Socialist Party.
Yeah.
My number 1 was Canada.
Wow.
Mine was Switzerland.
Mine was the United States.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
That's
Wow, you love America so much.
very unfortunate.
Yeah.
You said give me 4 more years of this, baby.
And we got the most nukes, and that's where I want to live.
Interesting. You had a pretty big cutout for the nukes, and that's where you ended up.
So Germany was my number 8.
Yeah.
Japan was my number 6. And
This does feel very Western focused.
Yeah.
All of my countries are ostensibly in the Western hemisphere outside of Italy and Japan.
I got Switzerland was my number 4.
Switzerland was 6 for me. France was 8.
I mean,
Canada was
our
5.
top 4 is the same,
Yeah.
Just mixed up.
just mixed up.
Okay.
Well, and so in the bottom it says your sub ranking the weight.
Yeah.
My quality of life being 5 puts that is extremely important. But do we think? I mean, I don't know. Hey, can I say it?
Go ahead.
Good circle dirge, bad poll,
Okay.
bad quiz.
Bad quiz.
You're not
Yeah.
happy with the results.
It's just not even happy with the results. We nitpicked the entire time.
Of course.
Yeah.
We picked a lot of nits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll say that. I loved it though. Thank you, Erica. It was wonderful.
Yeah. So let's pick one and move.
I think
Will you come with us?
to Canada.
Oh,
Or Switzerland?
Well, I heard that Canada wasn't taking Americans.
Damn.
I mean, it's hard to immigrate to Canada. Yeah.
But then I also heard that Canada was opening up immigration centers for Americans, refugee camps.
Yeah. I mean, what you're gonna hate to hear is that Canada is also doing an extreme right wing tilt. So
That's what when I was genuinely depressed and Christian, we need to move out of here. The world is terrible and the United States is the worst. He's like, I hate to tell you, but everywhere kind
Yeah.
of sucks right now.
yeah, there's not a lot of places that are wow, they passed a lot of really progressive legislation recently.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty scary.
But that's why it's great that we are fortunate enough to live in Illinois, at least. You
Yeah.
know? We're at least in a state that feigns care for their population. And that's why
JB is
Midwest is
sticking
the,
up for us.
is the Midbest. I'll say that.
You said it, buddy. You said it.
Hey, after the Circle Jerks, we like to do a little thing where we pull in a listener-submitted sound, which always prefaces the listener-submitted stories. If you want to do that, send those in at judgiespod@gmail.com. Put it in the subject line, what you're sending in, listener-submitted sound, listener-submitted story. And this is a listener-submitted sound.
Alrighty. Listener submitted sound. Hi, Judgies.
Hello.
I've been a long-time listener for a few years now. I have no idea when I started. How does anyone remember what episode they even started on?
I started on 1.
But listening to you three has always felt like catching up with the gang.
Thank you.
It's insane the types of stories you're able to find. Feels like no other podcast covers the stories with such a high caliber of sharding quite like you three. Keep on doing what you're doing. I absolutely love it. Here's my listener submitted sound. It's a cover of Popular from Wicked, and it only took me 10 tries. Love, Angel, and Biscuit.
Oh.
And they even put in the
British.
lyrics? Holy shit.
Sing it if you know it.
And yes, indeed, you will plug Judgies Pod. You're gonna plug Judgies Pod. They'll read about piss and farts, tales of shits and shards. Every plug, it really counts to plug Judgies Pod. I'm listening to Judgies Pod, and with a plug from me to be who you'll be. Josh and Rick and Christian too. There's nothing that can stop me from plugging for eternity. For free. La 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 la. Plug the Judgies Pod. I sang this song because Ricky hates musicals.
Loved it.
Regular Kristen Chenoweth on our hands. Can I say that?
I thought that
Your voice was very
Kristen-
good.
We're not supposed to say your full name, dude. Angel. We loved it.
And it was, with Ariana on the backing vocals, a.k.a. Biscuit.
Biscuit.
Absolutely. It was very good. It was very, very good. Erica, thoughts on Wicked?
Thoughts on Wicked?
Never seen it.
You're going to?
No.
We
What
should.
the hell?
You can watch it without
You
me.
guys going to see Companion?
What is that?
By the creators of Barbarian. It's a new horror movie.
You know what? Now that you said it, I've seen a trailer for it or like a TikTok ad.
Yeah.
Are you going to see it? Too scary?
I fear I'm going to have to, and I hope it's good. Unlike Barbarian.
Yeah. Is it made by the same writer as
I don't
Barbarian?
know. It just
or
says
the
from
same
the creators.
Creators?
I don't know. The creator of Barbarian was Zach Kreger from Whitest Kid You Know.
Real one.
So I don't know if he's
R.I.P.
on.
Trevor.
Yeah, R.I.P. Absolutely.
You were speaking the gospel. We didn't even realize what we were getting back then, buddy.
When you said you wanted to go to your grandma's nursing home and steal her meds, you really were onto something.
You
Trevor
were
Miller.
onto something big.
You see, his brother fell from a balcony too recently.
Really?
That's how
did?
Trevor died. Yeah, Trevor Moore's brother. It's a comedian
Whitest
from
Kids
Whitest
You
Kid You
Know.
Know.
Oh.
He
I haven't
died.
thought about that show in a million years.
He died. It was 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was ruled a suicide or if he was just inebriated and fell out of a 5-story balcony and he died. But his brother just fell out of a 2 or 3 story balcony and
Got really
he didn't die, but he got injured.
That's sad.
Yeah.
The world's crazy.
Anyway, Erica, what do we got for that listener to Illinois?
It says I don't give a flying carrot if you use my name or not. So this is from Ace.
Ventura.
Of spades.
I don't think that I read this one.
I think I would have remembered Ace.
Yeah.
Okay, then did I read their first story about not liking minorities?
You can't throw Ace under the bus like
You
that.
gotta put it in a little more
What
context.
is the context here?
You know the story where Ace was racist?
That's in the name.
Do you want me to read that story then?
Is it a good story?
It is.
Are we gonna yell at a listener?
No.
Okay.
Today I fucked up majorly by confusing the worst two words.
Okay.
I don't give a flying carrot
Castration,
if you use my name or
gestation.
not. This is Ace. My husband and I were chilling in bed. He was watching reels, and I was on.
Ew.
I was in and out of
Poor.
paying attention to his phone. He scrolled, and Michael Reeves came on and said, "I'm passing the phone to someone who is not cool with minorities." After the reel was over, I told my husband, "I'm not cool with minorities either," in a way that I was saying how it wasn't an insult.
That,
He
like, I'm a
turned to me real fast. I then say, "I don't like them and I'm not cool to them."
God.
And a moment later, I realized I'm thinking of minors. And minorities are 100% different despite the very similar words. When
Yeah.
Michael in the reel accused someone of being not cool with what I thought was children, the other person reacted harshly, denying the accusation. So I thought he was implying that they did not cool things to children, which is a very weird thing to accuse someone of who isn't like that. But I felt like someone could say, "I'm not cool with children," and I wouldn't be offended or react like they did because I don't think children are cool and they don't think I'm cool. And all is chill with that.
I wonder why, Ace. I wonder fucking why kids don't think you're cool.
I wish I could say I'm learning English as a second or third language, but it is my first.
Sounds like you're still learning it as your first language.
Yeah.
I am learning my third language, Danish, and I can't wait to make horrible mistakes in that one as well. Thankfully, my husband knows I'm an idiot and not racist, but he will be holding this over me for the rest of my life. It is definitely the worst thing I've ever said. If you read this on the pod or BEP, #PissBaby, tell Pissy Chrissy I said button. He'll know what that means.
Oh, I don't know puns on here anymore.
It's not.
Are you fucking kidding me? That's about the equivalent.
Okay, so I haven't read that one.
I gotta tell you,
Okay, well, we have
Idiot-
another one from them. Real
being
quick.
dumb and being racist is a real square and rectangle situation.
Are you calling yourself racist?
No.
That's a very. Explain.
I'm not saying all idiots are racist,
Correct.
but all racists are idiots.
But circles aren't rectangles. You said, he said circle rectangle, right?
I meant squares and rectangles. What did I say?
You said circle.
You said circle.
Run that back, Blake, and please make it right for me. Square and rectangle situation. Please make it
So I
right
was
for me.
like, did you intentionally say it wrong to imply that you were racist?
Okay, so
Piece of
then
shit.
Ace messaged back a couple days later and said, "I just thought of another kind of related bonus story if you were interested in that one. A while ago, I lived with my brother and I was eating at the kitchen table. My back was to the wall and I was watching Netflix. My brother walks up, so I paused the screen. He asks what I'm watching and I say, New Girl." Okay, we all know the
TV
show? Yeah.
Zoe Deschanel.
Max Greenfield.
We
Lamorne
just talked-
Morris.
Thank you. We just talked about him.
And-
Jack Johnson.
And Jack Johnson.
Or is it Jake Johnson?
Jake Johnson.
Jake Jackson?
No, it's Jake Johnson because Jack Johnson is the musician, right?
Musician, that's right.
And then what's Cece's name? Fuck.
This is like when people know like the names to like band members. I'm just like, how did you know that?
I can't remember
I just watched
Cece's
the
name.
show. I just listened to the fucking band.
Hannah Simone.
Yes. Ugh, I knew
Obviously.
that. I knew that. Anyway, they're watching New Girl. After I swallow the food in my mouth, now the unfortunate part of this is where I paused. They were drinking and playing True American, which if you know the show, it's a drinking game that they play.
I gotta say, I don't like the phrase "swallowed the food in my mouth." I don't know what it was about that, but it made a picture I didn't like.
You have food in your mouth and you're swallowing it. What do you mean?
I don't think I need to know that. Just maybe it's because it's redundant. It's like I know you're swallowing the food. It has to be in
Yeah.
your mouth to swallow it.
After I swallowed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something about swallowing the food in my mouth.
Hey,
grossed
you
me
leave
out.
Ace alone, all right?
Sorry, Ace. I just thought you might be racist. You're not cool with minorities.
They're certainly acist. I'll say that.
They were playing True American, which is a drinking game, and on the paused screen is Winston, topless, and whipped cream sprayed all over his body and head. My brother then asked, "What?" And I repeated. He then tells me that he thought I said the fucking N-word with that on my screen. I can't even tell you how scared I am to name that show now. And now I enunciate my words very carefully.
Ace.
You're not really doing a great job convincing us you're not racist.
Ace. What?
Well, I guess I see how the logic tracks here, where it's like,
You have a mouthful of food and you say the word new girl.
I mean, you have the N and the G sound.
yeah.
I don't know.
And your back was to your brother. He couldn't see your mouth. Yeah.
I get the train of logic of why you told us 2 stories of you looking very poorly. I see the train of logic here.
Okay.
But
It's a real trolley problem.
Yeah, it's a real trolley problem.
Stories. One of them you're being racist once, and the other one you're being racist to a lot more people, and you got to pull the lever.
Yeah, I would probably get on the track and just pull the lever, you know?
You're on the track.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, Ace. Wow.
Hey, sometimes you get your foot in your mouth.
Yeah. Wow. I'm speechless, dumbfounded, bereft of words.
Okay.
I don't know if that's
I was just making sure you were in a rectangle.
Trying to find the story that I want.
Does bereft mean I don't have things?
More I was on the dumbfounded.
Deprived or lacking something.
Okay.
So is saying bereft of words or bereft for words?
Bereft of words.
So I'm smart, is what I'm hearing.
Fuck.
All right, Eric, we got one last story for this episode, and then we're going to do way more on the bonus episode.
Where did it go? Here we go. This is from Tess.
It's a Violet?
No,
I wish. Tess, Violet, right to the show.
this is a little bit of a long one.
Get on this, B. We love your music.
But the story is wild. r/relationship_advice. And the title is, we are reading titles.
Please.
Fiance, male 27, made a scene at my, female 25, workplace, wrecked my car, ran into the road, got hit by a car, and then was detained for a DUI.
Okay.
So this just happened.
So that just happened.
W, let's go with a W male name, Walter.
Kai Sinet.
W Riz.
W male Kai Sinet. Walter Spud.
Walter, my fiance, who I've been dating for a little over a year, drops me off at work. We share my car, and he has a doctor's appointment during my shift. I hug him and kiss him goodbye. Everything's good. He doesn't have a phone, so I have no way to contact him while I'm at work. This means no disagreements or anything took place between us the time my happy boy dropped me off and when he walked into my workplace maybe 4 hours later. He looked really happy to see me and I gave him a big hug. I smelled the alcohol on him and he started showing signs of the belligerent drunk that he becomes.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to go fuck some shit up, being a direct quote from this interaction. I tread carefully, said nothing about it, and acted normally despite being upset. I told him he should go home and get my brother. Let me just preface. It's my location's grand opening. This is my first day there. My boss is there. His boss is there. And that guy's boss is there. This guy's boss is here. Oh, and he's the president of whatever. I don't remember. An hour or so later, Walter comes back with my brother. My section is full, so they sit and wait for a table to clear up. They're sat right behind 3 of the bigwigs. Walter is now crying, so I come out and check on him. At some point, while I'm right next to him, behind the big boy bosses, he yells out, "Man, fuck these people." I try to calm him, tell him he can't do that, please calm down, go out and smoke, etc. I turn around and my seated customers and all the bosses are just staring at me. I tell him I'll have to kick him out if he does that again, and I really don't want to do that. I go up to where my bosses are huddled and apologized, told them I let him know I'd be kicking him out if it happened again, and went back to work. Walter and my brother go out to smoke. I apologized to my customers as well. They were incredibly kind and understanding. Once the table cleared up, they came back in and sat down. I got them some drinks and took the opportunity to run to the bathroom and play some catch up on side work.
I hope when you said it, you got them drinks.
I'm hoping
you
it
were
was
getting
water. Yeah.
I'm sure. I hope it was a Jack and Coke light
Yeah.
on the Jack. All Coke. All soda.
Yeah.
I get back to the table, and aside from looking like he's still crying, he seems all right, just shooting the shit with my brother. They're joking, saying that Walter is going to put on his bulletproof vest and my brother's going to shoot him. I couldn't really tell they were joking, though. At least they were very adamant about the joke.
Why does Walter own a bulletproof vest?
So I reminded my brother that Walter is drunk and they should not be doing anything like that. My brother started asking what Walter had drank, and here's where I made a mistake. I let my upset show. I respond to my brother asking what Walter was drinking. I said a bottle of liquor he bought using my debit card without asking me. He gets up, slams his wallet on the table, and leaves. He's not going to leave without my brother, we say, right? He's just going to sit in the car. Nope. Off he goes. I'm worried sick, but there's nothing I can do. I take my brother's food order and I get back to work.
What's the brother doing?
Yeah. Trying to kill this guy.
Not being any help at all, really.
He's antagonizing at this point.
Yeah.
He's adding to he's stoking the flames, as one might do.
I'm worried sick, but there's nothing I can do. I already read that. Maybe an hour later, the president guy specifically asks me to do something. I don't realize who this guy is at the time. I tell him I'll get right on that and continue finishing up what I was doing. A senior employee comes up to me and explains to me who he is and tells me that if he asks me to do something, I drop what I'm doing and I do it. So I get right on that task.
I gotta tell you, I hate that mentality. That shit happens to me at work where they're like, the bigwig asked you. And it's like, yeah, and he can wait in order of everybody else has to meet for shit. What are we talking about here? It drives me nuts when they act like he should get. I can guarantee what he's asking for is not like a life or death situation.
Yeah.
It's just like, ooh, you didn't clean booth 12. And it's like, okay, well, let me clean booth 2 first. And it's like, but the president asked you. And it's like, yeah, you can eat my ass. There's a queue.
Unless he's paying me a hell of a lot more, I'm not doing shit.
British.
Moments later, I look up and Walter is standing in front of me across the bar. He's just staring at me and crying. He pleads, please talk to me. I let him know that I'm busy and really can't speak right now. I tell him to go sit and hang out with my brother. The president is 5 feet to his left and 2 of the boss guys are right behind me. He sits in the waiting area by himself and begins to cry loud enough for the entire store to hear. I look up at the president who is staring at me. Then behind me are the 2 doing the same. 2 who are doing the same. They tell me to stop what I'm doing and clock out. I take maybe 10 to 15 minutes to wrap up all the essential things I need to do before I can leave. And I meet my brother outside who is staring at an ambulance and police lights 100 feet up the road. He tells me that Walter went home. While I'm standing there, I really start to pay attention to the emergency lights. I start to worry that something happened to Walter. I hear someone screaming and crying, but my brother convinces me that it's not Walter, that he just drove the other way. I eventually walk up to and past the emergency scene when I see my car about another 100 feet away in the grass. I run to the car to see Walter, and it's empty. A cop walks up to me and eventually tells me that Walter's in the ambulance. So I run back, and he's pulling off as soon as I get to him. The cop stops me, gets my information, and fills me in. He's okay after getting struck by the car, thankfully due to being drunk, they said. He is being taken to jail for a DUI, so they told me I cannot see him while he's in the hospital. My car didn't get too much damage, but for personal reasons, it's been towed and will likely cost me thousands to resolve. I'll do my best, but I think the car is gone for good. I'm less upset about the whole situation and more upset by the lack of respect for me and my wishes/boundaries. I've talked to him about how he needs to stop drinking. This is a recent trend. That he cannot buy alcohol with my money without asking. Obviously, this has happened on a few other occasions. Excuse me.
Yeah, sick, are you?
No, I just had a sneeze.
Okay, just making sure.
I'm sick as hell, dude. I lost my spot. And that he cannot drive my car drunk. And this is just one example out of many disrespectful acts. Once I learned that he was okay, I just got angry. There's a pattern of disrespecting me, my wishes, and my boundaries, which I feel sucks even more because I've been so outrageously understanding, as well as clear and communicative about absolutely everything, at least during the times that he stuck around to listen. I love him and care about him more than anyone or anything, but his actions consistently don't match up with his words. How do y'all suggest I approach the situation when I see him next? How would you recommend that I proceed? Edit, the drinks that I served him were Coca-Cola and water, which is good to know. We were worried about that.
How do you proceed? You cancel the engagement and you break up.
You definitely need to break up with him.
And get him into a thing that'll help him with his alcoholism. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta figure something out about that. But I feel like this isn't a good outlook for your future.
Yeah, no.
Maybe talk with your brother and say, hey,
What? Yeah.
You could have helped
my
in this
drunk husband
situation.
is here, drive him away while my boss's boss is here as well.
Yeah.
Maybe tell the brother to have a better head on his shoulders
Yeah.
and say, maybe deal with the fucking situation. I can't, I'm at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially to come into work and I don't know how you don't immediately tell them like, hey, there's a lot of fucking important people here. Leave.
This is our opening day.
Yeah.
Please.
And you
leave.
cannot be doing this.
Well, I wonder if she asked him to come because it was the opening day,
and then
but he was the one who ruined it by drinking
Coming
and
drunk.
Yeah.
That's very possible. But I gotta tell you, I never liked people coming in when I worked.
I know.
It made me so uncomfortable. It's like I think I'd like it even worse if I was like worked in the food industry. I didn't like
probably.
people coming in when I worked at CVS when I knew you. And it's like, don't come asking me questions. People are gonna start looking at me acting like I'm giving favoritism out here.
Fucking Nepo customers.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, fuck Walter. Can we get a fuck Walter on 3? 1, 2, 3.
Fuck Walter.
Not W, actually. Not W man at all. L man.
Actually, L.
Actually, absolute L man.
Yeah, this guy's a loser.
Common Walter L.
Yeah.
All too typical Walter L.
You know what else is typical?
Our bonus episodes.
Our weekly bonus episodes over on patreon.com/judgiespod, or you can pay $5 for a monthly tier, or just $1. You get all of our main feed episodes ad fucking free, as well as Discord access where you can go and hang out with all the cool people. AJ's in there. Haley just recently joined. That's
My
right.
Haley?
The Haley.
My champion Haley?
Yeah,
The champion Haley.
My champion Haley.
The.
And a bunch of cool people are in there, so go ahead and check that out. Anything else, Erica? Where else can they freaking find us at?
Well, wherever you're on the internet, right? Is that how I say it? Wherever you're at on the internet, we're probably there too. And our Judgies handle is JudgiesPod at
JudgiesPod at JudgiesPod.
It's at JudgiesPod, and if you want to email us, you can email us at judgiespod@gmail.com. Okay, thank you. Goodbye. I don't know why I was struggling.
You nailed. You had a bad case of the bad talks all episode.
I did.
But it was still a grand episode.
Thanks, Josh.
Those are some wild
appreciate it.
stories.
They were. I usually bring the wild ones.
You're like Rihanna and Paul McCartney in that episode, in that context. We'll leave Kanye out of that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
4 or 5 seconds from while in, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Bye.
The Judgies